Whoop-ah. We are live in Central Park with Zalman Moshe Sapo. This is the first time we're doing a running commentary live with Zalman Moshe. You okay with that? We're going to give it a shot, see how it goes. It's Parshas Vayechi. So I'm holding a stroller in one hand, running stroller, and phone in the other. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to try. So, this week's Parshas Vayechi. Vayechi means, and he lived. Vayechi Yaakov, Be'eretz Mitzrayim, Shvaz, Ve'ishan, and Yaakov lived in the land of Egypt for 17 years. And our rabbis tell us, actually the Talmud says something unique about Yaakov, our forefather Jacob, that is different than all the other forefathers, is that Yaakov Avinu lo met. Our forefather Jacob did not die. He never died. He's still alive. The Rebbe spoke about this many times in the previous running commentaries. In this week's Parsha, we spoke about how the Rebbe applied this to the previous Rebbe. When the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe passed away in 1950, the Rebbe claimed that he still lives. He lives on. And there might be some people here today who are saying that the Lubavitcher Rebbe still lives. What does that mean? What are we talking about? The Rebbe was a very practical person. And the Rebbe quoted the Talmud. And he said, what does it mean that the Rebbe who passed away is still alive? In the Talmud, I'll just quickly note what we spoke about in the previous running commentaries and then talk about a different angle, a different element for this week. So the Rebbe said that in the Talmud it says that Yaakov Avinu lo met. In the Torah it doesn't say anywhere that Yaakov died. It just says that he was buried and embalmed. And so the Torah doesn't say he died, so the Talmud says Yaakov Avinu lo met. He never died. And then they asked the question, but they buried him and they embalmed him and they eulogized him. And, oh man. Hey Bupale. Baby is calling for attention here. But I'm in the middle of a Dvar Torah now. Do you think we could work this out? We'll talk soon, okay baby? I'm going to try this, see how it works. So he says, Yaakov, he says, the Talmud says, Ma Zaroh BaChayim, Afu BaChayim. It's true that they embalmed and eulogized and buried him, but as his children live, so too he lives. Ma Zaroh BaChayim, Afu BaChayim. And the Rebbe went on many times in many different ways to explain how the life of a tzaddik, of a righteous person, the true life of a righteous person is the life of spirit. And as long as that spirit lives on, the life of the righteous person lives on. So that's, in a nutshell, the basic idea. So it's true, he still lives, but he lives in a form of spirit. And how does he live? Through his children, through his students, through his followers, through his spirit, his energy, his teachings living on. That's what makes him alive. So, now, that was the previous talk from, I think, last year. Now, in this talk, the Rebbe continued in 1962 or 3, and he explained, why does the Talmud use the verb, the term Zaroh, Ma Zaroh BaChayim? Zaroh in Hebrew means children, but also means seed. He said, why doesn't the Torah or the Talmud, when it talks about Yaakov being alive, just as his children are alive, or just as his followers are alive, so too he is alive, why doesn't it use the term, a more common used term, Yeladav, Yeled, means child. Ma Yeladav BaChayim, or Ma Talmidav BaChayim, his students in Hebrew, or Chanichav, or Mechunachav, those whom he educated. As long as they're alive, so too he is alive. So here's the question that the Rebbe poses, that the verbiage, the words of the Torah are exact. And the Torah says, Ma Zaroh BaChayim, Afu BaChayim, just as his children live, so too he is alive, but it uses the term Zera, because Zera, aside from meaning children, It also means seed. So just as a seed lives, so too he lives. And the Rebbe says, let's find what are the qualities of seeds. It says, the Talmud says that a person will not plant a kav, which is a measurement approximately about a liter, in order to produce a kav, in order to produce the same liter. A person will plant a liter in order to produce many, many times that much. That the word in the Talmud is a kur. A person will plant a kav in order to get a kur. So the Rebbe says so too over here, that this is like an idea of business. A person won't invest $1 in order to get back $1. He'll invest one to get an exponential return, to get back 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. So too says the Rebbe, this is the message that the Torah is giving us, and this is the spirit that the previous Rebbe wanted and taught at our Rebbe. And whatever our Rebbe said about the previous Rebbe, we say about our Rebbe. So he too lives. But he lives because we live on and continue his message. Now, what is his message? His message is to be like Zaroh, to be like seeds that we plant. That when a person plants, they expect an exponential return, an expanded return. So too said the Rebbe, when the previous Rebbe, and we're applying it to our Rebbe, when they taught somebody, they didn't just invest $1 to get $1 in return. They didn't invest teaching one person so that only that person should know, but they expected an exponential return. They expected that person to teach what they learned with others, who will in turn teach it to others and continue growing the tree. You plant a seed in order to produce a tree that has many thousands of seeds that can continue planting on and on. And that's what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe said, doesn't matter what level you're on, our Rebbe he taught people Aleph Bet, the Hebrew alphabet, and he taught the deepest secrets of the Torah. And wherever we're at, that's where we have to plant others and help others grow exponentially also. The Rebbe moved on and said that when it comes to another interesting quality, when it comes to death, a person passes away. See, the Rebbe was talking about the previous Rebbe, how he passed on, but he still lives. And in connection with Yaakov, our forefather Jacob, who passed on but still lives. So the Rebbe says when it comes to death, usually nature dictates that the more time passes, the more the pain of our connection fades away. That's just the nature of things, and it's kind of a gift, a blessing that God put into humanity. That when somebody passes away, we should be able to move on with our life afterwards. As time passes, the pain fades. Says the Rebbe, the opposite is true with planting. Regarding our conversation here, it says when you plant something, it says the lower quality fruits and vegetables and produce are produced, grow quickly within days or weeks or months, but the higher quality takes more time. It says the more luxurious the fruit or the planting, the produce, the longer it takes to produce, to grow. It says the Rebbe, the same thing is with us in our lives, in our connection with our Rebbe. The time, instead of making us more distant from our Rebbe and from his message, it should grow in quality. It should grow our quality of connection, just like it takes longer time. The more time something of higher quality is planted, and it takes more time to grow, so too in our relationship with the Rebbes and with our messages, we should grow in time. Not only that, the Rebbe said another thing, that we don't find in the planting world is that when a person plants in the planting world, in agriculturally, you only get back what you put in, the same type of what you put in. So if you plant wheat, you get back wheat. If you plant barley, you get barley, but you won't plant wheat and get an orange or another fruit. The Rebbe says, but when it comes to our service to God, he says each of us have our own characteristics, like what our seed is naturally made of. And he says there's a unique quality when we bind ourselves with other Jews, with true Ahavas Yisrael, when we truly, truly love another human being and dedicate ourselves to another, then we become this united entity that is able to do more than each is able to do on his own. So if a person's natural characteristic is to operate in a form, in a mode of kindness, then they'll still be able to access the service of God in other modes, like strictness, and vice versa, or beauty, or glory, or splendor. And there's 7 different emotional attributes that we all function on. And the Rebbe said, in the fruit world, in the planting agriculturally, you're stuck with what you are. But in our world, we can cross-breed, in a sense, and function and excel in many areas. The Rebbe quoted, for example, we have a mitzvah to learn Torah and to do other mitzvahs, to give tzedakah, charity, in person and with our monetarily, with our money. And the Rebbe says all these things they may be seemingly not our character that we are best formed and equipped to do, but we're able to do them, says the Rebbe, because we unite with others. And because we unite with others, we're able to do and to cross over into a different type of service. And finally, again, as noted earlier, the Rebbe ended that it's not the time that should relax our relationship and our connection with the Rebbe's and with their message. It's actually the opposite. Every year that passes, our produce, our quality, and our quantity should grow, should improve, and should increase in our following their examples and being inspired by their teachings, as we are doing right now in this Parshas Vayechi in Central Park, New York City, repeating something from the Rebbe. And now we'll say goodbye to our little grandson who stood through. He was with us this whole time, right? Zalman Moshe? You want to say hi to the people? Getting a little tired? Yes? Beautiful boy. Let's say Shalom Aleichem. Okay, that's it for now. Live from Central Park, New York City. Share.